That's a great question. I think what I have found helpful is figuring out what are my weak points, where am I vulnerable, where do I have doubts about myself, and what is the easiest way to express that doubt to myself in a way that then changes it to something else. So, for example, if I say something like, let's say procrastination, okay, something that I work on. So, kind of thinking of an affirmation that doesn't say I'm not a procrastinator, because I am a procrastinator. So it doesn't matter what you say. If that's what you are, then that's, it's difficult to change it. But things like, I am managing my time better. I'm making quicker and faster and better decisions. That's the I amness part of it. But it's just affirmations that you tell yourself. Because I think what we tell ourselves eventually becomes truth, and we eventually believe it. So coming up with little affirmations that, firstly figuring out what are the weak spots, what do I need to fix, what do I need to be and become to be that person that I visualize being, and what are the little affirmations and things I can tell myself every day and during the day and later in the day that help me to stay in that state of mind and start believing it. The second thing is, what is the state you're in every day? What is your level of consciousness? Where are you staying mentally every day? And what are your conversations, your mental conversations? Because other people, others have said, or believers in the universe and kind of the law of attraction have said that we should watch our conversations with ourselves, because they are conversations with the universe. And those are the things where you wake up feeling confident, having read all the stuff that you've been reading, but then when you actually listen to your thoughts and conversations during the day, or what you tell yourself, is it aligned with what you read? Is it aligned with where you want to go? And often it isn't. Often it isn't. We intellectually know where we want to go, and we intellectually know what we want to achieve, but the conversations and reinforcements and things we tell ourselves every time, and this is where affirmations then don't become silly things. They actually then become important things too. When you have that negative thought, you replace it with a positive affirmation in your head until you believe the affirmation. It's those conversations in our heads that make us end up being somewhere completely different from what we visualize. And I'm not saying I figured this out as well, but in terms of, I'm not saying that I've mastered it, I'm still working on it, but I certainly believe that if you can master your inner conversations, you'll be able to master getting to the place that you need to get to, calming yourself down, fighting internally someone externally who may be showing resentment, who may be showing prejudice. It's those inner conversations. Often when we're seeing someone being resentful and prejudiced, internally, we actually subconsciously agree with them. Or we're saying, oh, I hope they don't do this to me now, or I hope they don't think in this way. That's agreement. That's giving up your power. And the conversations that we need to tell ourselves internally have to be completely aligned with what we want to achieve. So I found that to be quite helpful, to just stop every day and just think, what am I thinking? And is it aligned with where I want to go? And Gary Zukav, the author of Seat and Soul, which is a book that Oprah quotes quite a lot, says that working on that is aligning your soul with your personality. Your soul is huge, and that's why we feel constrained, he says, and restricted at times, because it's huge. That's part of the original source, whatever you choose that source to be. And when it's restricted and it's an environment that doesn't recognize its greatness, that's where we feel stifled. And so that greatness within needs to be aligned with the personality. And that's when we then have that authentic power and alignment. And we don't always have that. We know what we want, and we know what we deserve, and we know it's the greatest and the best. But then our thoughts, that conscious side that governs the personality, or the ego, as